Good morning. Welcome to Studio 365, powered by tablethink. This is episode 124. My name is Joshua, and I'm here in the studio with Pastor Kerrie Palmer, and we are celebrating. It's the middle of the week, and it's a day for celebration.
It is a day to celebrate, no doubt.
That's right. So you know what I brought today to have fun celebrating.
It's always a mystery with you. What did you bring?
It is a mystery. So what I brought is I brought some fireworks, and I brought a crowd of people who they're like, yes, and there's some firecrackers. Hopefully, if you're listening to this in your car driving, that doesn't freak you out or anything. Right. I always hear like these commercials with a radio, like a horn on the radio, and I'm like, what? I'm like, is somebody? I'm like, they should not have put that sound effect in there, but. There you go. You always got to celebrate the middle of the week.
Always. So. And who doesn't want to do it with fireworks and a crowd?
That's right. And that's and truth being known, throughout my history, my life, especially in my youth, I did have more fun than anyone should have with fireworks.
Yeah. I've always thought when I've accomplished something, I should just have that crowd around to cheer me and say, right. Good job.
Yeah, we could put together a crowd and a fireworks show for you
even just when I get my laundry done.
Yeah.
I think that should just be.
There you go. Just have the applause.
That's right.
That would be fun.
I have a thing against laundry, so there you go. It just keeps getting dirty.
Right.
It's all
true.
Over again.
It's a cycle, a never-ending cycle.
Yes.
So.
Just have a real thing. So we have a really fun episode today, and we have been doing this series. We're a few days in now, and it's innovative. You want to kind of explain what we're doing? Yeah,
so it's really cool. We're kind of talking about just the idea of innovation and the idea of what that means. And it's cool because it can be both personal in your life. It could be if this is something that you can influence at your work or at your school or just an organization. And so, just the ability to dream beyond what is status quo and what is happening today and to look into the future. And I love it.
Right. I do too. And it really is about having a vision for more.
Right.
And Habakkuk 2:3 in the New Living Translation has a great word for us today from that, and it says, this vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. And this is about a time where the people were distressed and kind of stuck, and it really was that there was going to be something more. And that's the thing, that God's answer is going to come, and we have to decide if we will wait for God's answer and understand that God always has something to be released in our life, and that there is something more. And I think innovation at its best is understanding that God is part of it and is releasing something for us.
Yeah.
And so there is kind of a how-to and to get this vision. And you want to give us a tip on that? Right.
Yeah. So I think, one of the things that I love to start with, and we talked about last week, just kind of, that dream and thinking, about what it is, but then to actually take some steps. And sort of one of my favorite exercises has always been brainstorming.
Yes.
And I even love the name, like a brainstorm. I just think about like all these things in your brain. And what I really love to do is to get that out on, whether it's on paper, on a marker board. And we were talking earlier about how much fun it is to do that with like friends or people who, are also really thinking about whatever, and you've shared a little bit. And sort of the rule of brainstorming is it's not the time to judge or to try to decide, is this a good idea or bad idea, but just get it all out. And so, for me, a good brainstorming session just starts with either a clean sheet of paper or a clean whiteboard. But by the time it's done, there's just a lot of things on there.
And I think you should always keep that.
Yeah.
Because you never know that maybe there'll be other ideas and innovation from that sheet of paper or whiteboard or whatever. And, for me, the energy of people coming up with ideas with if I have something that I want to talk to you about this, and this is something that's kind of been brewing with me, and how people can take that to such a further place many times, or broaden my perspective over it, or just even, it actually really ignites them to start thinking about different ideas in their own life. And I think that sometimes we act on things alone.
Right.
And so I do that piece for me is the other people and what that really means. But I also have a huge chalkboard, a wall chalkboard in my hallway that I just keep chalk there. And every time I have an idea, I love to write it down and see where that's going to take me. And sometimes it just sits there for quite a while.
Right.
And I'll go by that and think, okay, what is that meaning and where is that going? And so I always try to keep something handy, and a wall chalkboard is pretty handy. It's right there, and then also just on my computer I have a list of things that I just want to explore at some point. And do you have something that you kind of keep with you at all times?
Yeah, I have many different places, but what I do is I love writing things in my notes applications on my phone and on my computer. So I'll do that. I also make tons and tons of voice memos, and I keep all these different files. One of my favorite files is just, I think of things in terms of like book titles or video titles or whatever it's going to be. So I just come up with these titles and I write all those down. But yeah, I am constantly, and I would say, that's a huge tip, is just whatever your system is, have a way to write stuff down, because I know that I won't remember. And I even wake up at night with from a dream with some idea, and if I don't write it down, I won't remember the next day. But it's fun to do that.
Yeah, I think that's just that creative, and the more you do it, you kind of exercise creativity within us. So I think we just need to remember that vision is for our next. And so, Joshua and friends, I will talk to you in Studio 365 tomorrow.
Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of Studio 365. We are in this new series, Innovation. If you missed the first couple of episodes, we invite you to go back and check those out. You can do that on our website at studio365daily.com. And we will see you right back here tomorrow for another episode.